Servus everyone, and a special servus from Vienna on the International Women's Day. In Russia, it is now a public holiday, while in the rest of the world, it is celebrated much less. Ironically, these two German socialists, Clara Zetkin and Rosa Luxemburg, were widely associated in the former Soviet Union with the Women's Day, when women should be given flowers and nice presents. No one knew why, and honestly, no one cared. It was good that at least one day in a year was a truly Women's Day. Today, our story is about a woman who lived and operated in Vienna as a Soviet spy. In the secret memory room of the Russian intelligence headquarters in Yasenevo near Moscow, a black and white photo identifies her as Elizaveta Yulivna Zarubina. But to the veterans and intelligence historians, this woman is known simply as Lisa, a Soviet Matahari with many names. She was born as Esther Rosenzweig in Romania. In Hebrew, her name means to hide, conceal, and so her role as a spy had been predetermined. As Esther, she studied in Vienna University and in 1923 joined the Austrian Communist Party with a party name Anna Deutsch. Here at the Soviet embassy at Reisnerstrasse 45, she had worked as a secretary. In 1925 registered as Elsa Hutschnecker, because by that time she had already married another Soviet spy, Julius Hutschnecker. They lived in Vienna on number 134 Landstrasse Hauptstrasse in the 3rd district. When Elsa came to Russia in 1925, she was granted Soviet citizenship. She was now Lisa Gorskaya, an agent of the CK, then OGPU, predecessor to the KGB. 2 years later, in 1929, the CK leadership told her to abandon bourgeois prejudices and seduce another Soviet agent suspected of treason. This was one of the early versions of what became known as the honey trap. Her lover was recalled to Moscow, interrogated, tried in secret, and shot. Soon afterwards, Lisa was sent on a new spy mission to Copenhagen. In Denmark, she lived as an Austrian socialite, Mariana Gruber, and soon became a mistress of her boss, Vasily Zarubin, who had just left his wife and young daughter. In 1930, Zarubin and Lisa were assigned to Paris, where they married, becoming a Czechoslovak couple, Yaroslav and Marianne Kochik. There, their son Peter was born. In October 1941, Lisa and her husband were sent to the United States, operating under the diplomatic cover. No one knew that on that very day, 2 months before the United States entered World War II, President Roosevelt approved a crash program to develop an atomic bomb. Codenamed the Manhattan Project, it was led by the United States, with the support of Britain and Canada. Robert Oppenheimer was selected to head the project's secret weapons laboratory, using the best Austrian, German, British, and American scientists. Since 1943, the efforts of all Soviet spy networks in Europe and America were concentrated on this target. Much later, the Austrian chemist and physicist Engelbert Bertel Broda, codenamed Eric, and the German theoretical physicist Klaus Fuchs, codenamed Rest, and later Charles, were identified as spies, providing secret information to the Russians. Oppenheimer himself had been spied on by his wife, Kitty, a communist who had been married 3 times before she met Robert and became his mistress in August 1939. In Princeton, Albert Einstein was approached by Margarita Kanyakova, the wife of a famous Soviet sculptor, in 1935 and started an affair that had lasted for 20 years. Kanyankova, codenamed Lucas, was a KGB agent. It is claimed that in the USA, Lisa Zarubina served as the controller of Kitty Oppenheimer and the contact for Kanyankova. She and her husband were recalled to Moscow in 1944 because his deputy denounced him to the FBI, and in Moscow, Zarubin and Lisa were accused of working for the American intelligence. Although he was later promoted to general, both were dismissed from service after the war. Esther Rosenzweig also known as Elza Hutschnecker, Lisa Gorskaya, Mariana Gruber, Mariana Kochik, Elizabeth Zubilin, and finally, Yelizaveta Yulivna Zarubina.